Another month, another list of games, and we're halfway through the year, kinda. So, we're going into July this time, and we have 6 games to talk about. We have Horizon Zero Dawn, Adrift, The Blob, Alien Isolation, Murdered Soul Suspect, and State of Mind. So, without further ado, let's review the games. First, we have Horizon Zero Dawn, and my thoughts may be a bit short, but bear with me. So, on playing it, I thought it was good, I like the environment, I like the world, basically. I like how it looks, I like how it has this whole concept where it's technology meets tribal stuff. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about Horizon Zero Dawn. Again, sorry this is so short, I think this is the shortest thoughts on a game in this series, but yeah, it's just, I think it's a good game. I just don't have anything else to say about it, aside from what I mentioned before, although I do think that at times our protagonist, Aloy, I think her name was Aloy, I thought it would be, thought she would be like a bit of a Mary Sue at times, but it wasn't like every time, it wasn't most of the time, just sometimes, she felt like a Mary Sue, and, I was intrigued, because obviously this is a very intriguing world, and its technology meets tribal stuff, as I mentioned before. And again, sorry this is so short, but that's all my thoughts on Horizon Zero Dawn. I should have more to say, I feel I should have more to say on it, but yeah, that's it. It looks good, the world is good, it probably sounds good if I can remember the soundtrack, and yeah, that's it. Horizon Zero Dawn. Let's get on to the next game, hopefully something I have much more time to talk about. Next up is Adrift. And remember what I said literally just a second ago about how the next game would be good? I was wrong. Adrift is not good, at least to me. I think the main thing about it is the controls, really. Obviously it's unique where you're a spaceman and you're gonna have to go through a destroyed space station to try and contact the people back at Earth. And also, you're in space, obviously, so the controls are going to be different from what you expect. They're going to be space-y. The closest thing I can compare it to would be like the jetpack levels in Crash Bandicoot 2, where it feels clunky and it just isn't that good to control. And maybe this game is really good. Maybe it's, one of the best games I could ever play. I wouldn't know that because I'm too preoccupied with the controls frustrating me. And yeah, I didn't really feel motivated to carry on. I just felt it was kind of boring. I only played for half an hour or so, and I don't think I really want to go through and explore more of it, in a sense. And yeah, those were my thoughts on Adrift. And now, let's get on to a game that's considerably better. And I'm actually telling the truth this time. Next, we have The Blob. And The Blob is easily the best game I played this month. And I honestly don't know how to explain it. It's very charming. I use that word more often than not. I've said that word more times than I have breathed in my life, probably. But there's no other way to describe it. It's charming, really. As you can see here, it's very colourful. It's got a distinct look to it. And the plot is just fun, really. It's the controls and the overall mechanics. And, it kind of has that Saturday morning cartoon charm to it. Get ready to hear charm a lot. And, yeah, I thought it was very fun to play. I'm repeating myself a lot here. But I really like how aesthetically it looks. Obviously we have this dull grey world that was devoid of colour, and it's your job to bring it back. And also, there's 2 things that I really liked, apart from what I mentioned before. One is the music, which is just brilliant, but then again, that's been said countless times, and if you've seen or even played The Blob, you'd probably pick that up. And the other are the villains, the Ingot Corporation, I think they were. And they're just overall cartoony misfits, and that's what I love about them. It's just, they're so funny, really. It's just, I don't really know how to describe them. Like, it's just overall fun. The Blob is just fun, really, and it's very charming. I've said that too many times to count. But aside from that, let's get on to the next game. Next up, we have Alien Isolation. Now, to preface this, at the time of buying this game, I also just watched the original Alien from 1979 to get a better context, and yeah, it's a good film, you know, and I can definitely see why it's beloved as it is and why it's so popular. So, with this knowledge in mind, I would go and see if Alien Isolation would, you know, reflect the source material, be a good entry into the Alien franchise. And in terms of story and characters, I thought it was pretty weak. Like, it was pretty forgetful, really, like, especially with the characters. Like, aside from one or two and maybe the main character, I couldn't remember anybody or what they were doing, basically, like what was the point of them. And yeah, I just didn't think they were memorable. The thing is, though, everything else I really like. Like, I love the overall aesthetic of the spaceship and the space station, and it really just, it feels like the original film, you know, where it feels like it's an expansion. And also, since this is such a vast open space, I really like that we're not the only people here. Like, obviously we have crewmates on there and just people on board the station, and they're trying to fight for survival against killer androids, which I thought were okay, and also the alien itself, the xenomorph, which everybody has praised, and I'm no different. This is why Alien Isolation, to me, is a really great horror game. It's mainly due to the alien and the AI. Like, it creates a perfect layer of tension. I cannot stress this enough. And I don't have enough knowledge on AIs, really, so I don't know how, you know, expansive and how innovative this AI is technically, but from playing it, it's so good, and I can't praise it enough. And those were my thoughts on Alien Isolation. Let's get on to the next game, shall we? The next game is Murdered Soul Suspect. Now, on first glance, this seems fairly interesting, where you're a ghost and you're trying to solve your own murder. And, you know, using your ghost powers, this can lead to a lot of different varieties of gameplay, I guess, and where the story is going to lead. But this is going to be a bit weird because my thoughts are mixed on Murdered Soul Suspect, where sometimes I like the game, sometimes I don't. It really depends on how I feel, like on certain days or something. But, you know, it looks interesting, and it sounds interesting, where, of course, as I said before, you're a ghost trying to solve your own murder. And I like our main character, you know. I think he's interesting, and he's a definite protagonist, really. Like, I don't know if that made sense, but really, I root for him. It's a shame that he's the only good character in this. Not that the others were bad, they're just boring. There's nothing to talk about, really. Like, you got the ghost girl, you got all the other different ghosts, we got members of the police, and, you know, it's just, there's nothing really to talk about along with characters. I did like that, spoilers, that it tried to incorporate witch trials in there, because that's a period of history that I'm interested in. And yeah, I thought it was interesting, you know. I mean, I've said that before, but it tries to do some things, but it doesn't really do them well. Like, for example, I think that okay, so in terms of gameplay, I thought the game was fairly easy. Like, there wasn't really any challenge. Like, even with the enemies involved, like, there's no challenge involved. You can just breeze right past them. You don't even have to defeat them, like, if you're careful enough. And seeing as how this was presented as, I don't know, like a kind of, well, not AAA, but like double A game, I guess, this felt really short, honestly, and I was just left underwhelmed, really. And aside from that, I don't really have much to talk about with Murdered Soul Suspect, so I guess we'll go on to the next game.